Imagine racking up thousands of active players at once on your game. This is a dream only hard and talented developers can experience. While most of these games thrive for years to come, others are bound to face a dirty downfall, and not for the reasons you may think. Today we're going to be uncovering Roblox's lost and forgotten simulators, starting off with the one everybody has most likely heard of. Weightlifting Simulator. Weightlifting Simulator is a game that managed to capture the attentions of millions of players around the world. At its peak, Weightlifting Simulator managed to gain 100,000 concurrent players. The competitive leaderboards, wide variety of pets, and the unique system where you would work out to gain coins was the reason why this game took off. While this sounds like a normal simulator nowadays, Weightlifting Simulator was way ahead of its time. Weightlifting Simulator 3 released all the way back in late 2018. Most simulators back then were fairly simple and common on the platform, but Weightlifting Simulator had a team of talented and skilled developers ready to risk it all to make a unique game. Back then, the downfall of Weightlifting Simulator was something nobody could have ever expected, as even months after the release, the game still had thousands of loyal fans and even had popular YouTubers uploading videos on it. So what went wrong? Well, you see, this game had solid updates which kept players engaged for a long time, but the problem came when they had to attract new players. Mostly it was the same loyal fanbase playing the game, but Weightlifting Simulator failed to innovate and attract new players. They would add new bosses, new weights, and new pets. While these updates seemed amazing, they are repetitive and contributed to the downfall of the game. This is very common with simulators, as you'll see later on in the video, but possibly the biggest reason Weightlifting Simulator was completely abandoned was the fact that the owner of the game was terminated off Roblox in 2020. There are many theories why this happened, but the biggest one is that the owner was caught scamming players. While there isn't much evidence to back this claim, it is the most sought after reason. Moving on to the next game, we have a game which managed to gain over 500 million visits, Saber Simulator. If you were active on Roblox during 2019 and 2020, you most definitely came across this game. Saber Simulator had everything you'd want in a simulator: pets, a large variety of sabers, and multiple worlds to explore. The developers were very consistent with the game and used to update the game frequently. What made this game sort of unique from others was that the game had the ability for you to PvP with other players. While some other games also had this feature, Saber Simulator managed to balance it among players. When you combine awesome updates, good mechanics, and a loyal fanbase, you receive an awesome game. But as all simulators on this list, Saber Simulator soon had to face the cruel reality that most simulators also face. As time went on and the players played the game more, the game started to receive backlash for the repetitive and boring gameplay. All you would do is swing your lightsaber and buy pets. This gameplay was bound to receive hate, and players were asking for better updates. Another reason why Saber Simulator soon fell off was that there was many competitors overtaking Saber Simulator. When you mix this with fewer frequent updates, less developer interaction, and repetitive gameplay, you can see why Saber Simulator fell off. Moving on to the third simulator, we have a loved and cherished Roblox game, Ninja Legends. To this day, Ninja Legends still manages to pull over 2,000 players. While these numbers sound amazing, they can't compare to the amount of visits the game used to have. Sitting at over 2 billion visits, Ninja Legends was a very popular simulator where you would train your character to become the most powerful. This game had a large variety of pets and items like most popular simulators. The game had frequent updates and was backed up by one of the largest development groups. The game also had a PvP and managed to give every pet unique features. The game was well made with almost no bugs and a vast amount of worlds. But again, like 90% of simulators on Roblox, the game couldn't innovate and was releasing far less updates and repetitive gameplay. This in turn hurt the player base by a lot. Coupled with the growing competitions, Ninja Legends was bound to fall off. But possibly one of the biggest reasons the game ultimately fell off was due to the fact that the community was expressing their feelings on the game. The community noticed that there wasn't new players coming in, and that mostly it was the loyal fans playing the game. But unlike every simulator on the list so far, next up we have a simulator that fell off to a reason no one really expected. My Restaurant was a popular game by Big Games. Released in late 2019, My Restaurant has managed to accumulate over 800 million visits. The game was known for its unique gameplay, which offered players to build and manage their own restaurant. Players enjoyed serving customers and customizing their dining experiences. The game featured a variety variety of mechanics, including cooking, hiring staff, and expanding the restaurant, which kept players engaged and motivated. At its peak, my restaurant had tens of thousands of players active at once. The developers updated the game frequently and added multiple innovative features. So what went wrong here? Well, you see, the game slowly started picking up an unbalanced economy. While this is common with big games, my restaurant faced a big problem, and that was exploiters. You see, exploiters would play this game and duplicate expensive items. With this, exploiters were able to obtain vast amount of gems. Big games tried patching these exploits, but hackers would simply find another loophole the next week. Soon, big games started pushing away from the game and there was less frequent updates. This hurt the player count a lot and the game was soon deemed dead. But up next, we have a game that once stood at the top of the charts, Unboxing Simulator. This game was deemed well among players on Roblox. The game had a large amount of items you could collect and offered players a unique gameplay style where you would grind coins and unbox random items, some ranging from no value to some being worth a pretty penny. While this game had countless players hooked and had players returning, the game soon started to lose popularity due to bugs, exploits, and more. The game had bugs that developers would try to fix, but then new ones would emerge the next update. While none of these were game breaking, the community perceived the game as unprofessional. The game soon would also start feeling repetitive, and many players showed their concerns to the future of the game. Unboxing Simulator would face the same fate as most simulators, but this didn't stop the developers from updating the game. To this day, Unboxing Simulator still receives updates. Although these updates struggled to revive the game, they still managed to keep the loyal fans happy. The last game on the list is probably the most popular and sought after simulator. Bubblegum Simulator is a game everyone's heard of and most likely played before. At its peak, the game would have tens of thousands of players at once. The game was unique in a sense where you would blow bubbles and sell them for coins. Alongside with frequent updates, community interaction, and overall great gameplay, the game seemed like it would never meet its fate. But that was soon to change, as for the couple coming years after its release, players would slowly start shifting away from Bubblegum Simulator and move on to more newer simulators like Pet Simulator X and more. The developers would soon also shift away from the game to focus on other projects. After this, the game was completely dead and the game hasn't updated to this day. If you want to watch a more in-depth explanation to the downfall of Bubblegum Simulator, then check out my other video. It'd be awesome to one day possibly see a comeback from these games. While this is highly unlikely, some of the games listed are working or have came out with a sequel to the original. This can bring back players the nostalgic feeling of playing the simulators we once loved from 2018 to 2020. Most of these games were abandoned primarily due to the fact that they grew increasingly repetitive over time and were ultimately outshined by the other more innovative titles that captured the attention of the simulator community. Some experienced a slower decline in the player base, gradually losing fans as new and exciting options emerged. Others, however, suffered an instant decline, with players quickly moving on to newer experiences that offered more engaging gameplay and mechanics. What we can learn from this video is that we need to enjoy our memories and never forget the games that once made us smile and laugh. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, then please consider subscribing and liking the video. Thank you.